Hello everyone. In this short session, I would like to go over a few of the settings that we need to prepare in Excel in order for us to code VBA and in order for Excel to recognize the code and allow it as far as security settings is concerned. One of the settings has already been presented in our previous session where you've written your first code. Let me remind you what was that. We've added this developer menu item into our ribbon. In order to do that, we went over to the File menu, clicked down on Options. Here, we selected the Customize ribbon on the left panel. And on the right-hand side, we've checked the Developer tab. All of these tabs represent the ribbon menu that we see that is available for us in Excel. Now I would like to discuss some of the security settings that allows code to run within Excel. In that left panel, let's select the Trust Center and click the Trust Center Settings button here on the right. Now we have several options to select from. Macro settings, they are about how Excel protects us from potentially malicious code that is coming into our computer via VBA code. Okay, we all write good VBA code that with only good purpose, but VBA code can also be abused in order to access your file systems and do some damage. And you know, some viruses and malwares, they try to take advantage of such loopholes that will leave in our computer and cause damage. So what are the different options for us here? The first option is telling Excel to just block all macros. Macros, I remind you, are VBA code without any notification. So this is the most secure option. However, it doesn't allow us to run any VBA code. So it's not a good option if we do want to run some VBA code. The next option is about disabling the macros, however, presenting a notification to the user, allowing him to choose whether he wants to allow the current file with the VBA code to run or to block the VBA code itself. The third option also blocks the macros. However, if the specific macro file is digitally signed, meaning we have signed it with a digital certificate that we trust, that we on our computer trust, it will allow this specific file to run with its VBA code. If it doesn't have a digitally signed certificate to it that we have authorized, well, then it falls back to behaving like the second option. It presents us with the question whether we want to allow or not allow the macro to run. By the way, if we disable and we don't allow the macros to run, the file still opens. Only the VBA code is blocked. Now, the last option is opening all macros without any notifications. This is just leaving the gate wide open. Any Excel file containing macros or VBA code opens freely, runs its code, and whatever. This is good for if you really trust all of the macro-enabled files that you open on your machine, and you have no problem of leaving that gate open, knowing that no Excel code that you don't know about is going to attempt opening within your Excel, thus potentially harming your computer. You can choose whatever you want. Most people that do require macros to run choose either the second or the third options if they have certain files that they take the effort to digitally sign. Rarely people just block everything, maybe because they never run any macros, even from files received from other people. I prefer to work with the less secure option. possibly because I'm kind of an optimistic person and also I'm more aware of what I'm opening and what I'm not opening, and I don't want to be bothered with this notification. Let's exemplify how this question may come about to the user. So let's select the disable all macros with notifications. I'm closing this, and now let me open a file that I have that has some VBA code in it. When Excel opens the file, as you can see, it has a yellow ribbon up here asking if I would like to enable the content. If I enable the content, well, then Excel goes ahead, opens the file and enables the VBA code. I can disable this ribbon, close the message without enabling the content. The Excel file will still open. However, I will not have access to the VBA code, and no VBA code will run. Now, this security message can come in different forms. It can come in the form of dialog box in the center of the screen. It basically has all the same purpose. Going back to where we were, File Options, Trust Center Settings, Macro Settings. I'm reverting back to my preferred selection. Now, the last checkbox is about allowing VBA code to change the VBA project itself. Okay, as you will learn, we use VBA code to access all sorts of objects, such as Microsoft Excel workbooks or Microsoft Word files, or cells in a worksheet, or files on our hard drive. Now, other objects are code, VBA code itself. Now, this could potentially allow malicious code to access your VBA environment and write its own code that is potentially harmful to your computer. Now, this is rarely used, so I leave it unchecked unless I really have good reason to allow automation of creating new VBA code on my system. So these are my preferences. You may choose your own. I'm clicking OK, and that's it. Our environment is now ready for writing and running our VBA code. Thank you for listening, and see you in our next session.